Well, good morning, folks. Thought I'd come out here today, and today's Thursday, October the 15th, and I told y'all that we would show you a video on these collards a week after I've set them out. Now, really, they're growing. I think they're coming out of whatever they were in, but one thing, and I'm gonna turn it around here so you can see, but one thing I believe is slowing them down a little bit is the fact that we had so much rain over the weekend. The remnants of the Hurricane Delta passed over us over the weekend, and we got swamped with tons of rain. There was actually water standing down in the lower parts of this garden. I don't think the camera really shows a good angle of this, but this garden actually is on a hillside that slopes downhill. But our ground is so saturated right now with water till, there's really nowhere for it to go. So it would be nice if we could see a little bit of a stretch here. I don't wish for nobody else to go through dry weather, but just right here over my property, I could do with a little stretch of dry weather. But I think they will come out from the looks of them. And I don't remember, I think I may have said something about it, but I don't believe I've actually shown this. But this little plant right here on the end of these rows, this is the cabbage row, but that one plant right there, that is not a cabbage plant, and I honestly believe it is a cauliflower plant. But we will see. It don't look like broccoli. Broccoli, the leaves are darker in color, but it does resemble cauliflower. So I'm hoping, it'd be nice if it was. My wife worked for a lady that, I think I've mentioned this before. She gave us a bunch of heirloom seeds, and we have some cauliflower in that, and it possibly could have got mixed in with it some way or another. I don't know. But anyway, that's where that stands as of now. I wished I could get in there and break some of those bad leaves off, but I believe they're coming out of what was bothering them. And one thing, it could be there was too much nitrogen to them. I don't know. They could have been burning. I don't know, but we will see. So they're looking promising now if the ground dry out and I can hoe around them a little more. And but the cabbage, you can see there, the cabbage is actually starting to head, and it's looking beautiful. Now I do notice as the sun gets on this and it heats up, they'll tend to bolt just a little bit. And I've had some of the broccoli doing the same thing. So we'll walk around over there and we'll look at that. And still haven't harvested any okra, so I think it's really about time. It's blooming, but there's just nothing on there putting out. I think it's about time for it to come on out. It's not bearing, so it needs hot weather. People say it'll bear to frost. If it don't have the right conditions, it will not. It'll just stand there. Okra needs hot weather. But now I've had years to where it did, when you had a night and day difference in the temperature. I've had years that it would bear like that, but we've had kind of a normal fall this year where it's gradually cooling down from week to week, and it's done. So it's really time. If it dry up just a little bit, I want to get in there and pull that out and get rid of that, clean that mess up, let more sunlight in here on these collards and the broccoli and stuff that we have. But this broccoli is looking real good, and I actually like it better in the fall versus the spring, because you don't have as many fresh items coming in the kitchen in the fall as you do the spring of the year. So it's always, to me, it's a good treat to have something fresh out of the garden in the dead of winter. But I want you to look at this. These are the little hot banana peppers, and they are simply loaded. Now I picked those off last weekend. If you remember, we did the video on the chow chow, and I cleaned them off, and just look, they're just simply loaded. So we'll get some of those too. So I'm tickled to see that. But things are pretty much wrapping up here, other than the other stuff. My blackberry vine, I went ahead and cut the dead back in it, and this is the way you do blackberries. They grow. There's actually two vines. You have the vine that's bearing, which this one will bear next year, but this one actually sprouted and grew this past summer, and you leave it. One thing you can do is to clip the end off, and it'll make it branch out more. This vine's probably the biggest I've had it in a long time. But I went ahead and cut back this year's this past summer's producing vine. I got that out of the way, cleaned it up. And my blueberry bushes, come winter, I need to do some pruning on these. They are really beginning to, this one I have never pruned on. And I've got the names of them. I've got them wrote down, and I cannot remember to tell you. I think one of them is the Elliott. I don't remember for sure. I don't remember which is which. I've got it wrote down where they're at. I'd have to go back and look and see. But this one, I have never pruned this vine right here, as you can readily tell. But I've got to clean it up. I want to get it where you get down in here, there's a lot of just clutter in there, and I want to clean it up where you can get a good airflow through it. And it's got, looks like about 6 different shoots coming up from it. So it's doing good. I mean, it's actually done good. It produced good this past year, so I'm thrilled about that. And then this one is a little bit different variety, and it's a little taller, and I won't do a lot to it, but I'll try to clean up in the main body of it here, just clean out some of the clutter in it, that I call it clutter, and so that it will produce a little better. And the this one, we bought this one back last spring, and so it's a new addition to it. So we're starting to get blueberries now, and I'm thrilled to death over that. We love blueberries here. All the family likes them, so they're a real good addition to have on your property. And slowly but surely, I'm getting a permaculture here on our little half of acre lot that we live on right here, that we have a lot of edible plants that produce food, and that's what I like. And it's took a long time to do it. This is my Scuppernong grapevine. I've pretty much cleaned everything off of it, and I wished I could redo this vine a little bit and spread it out just a little more. They're so bunched in there, it's hard to find them. But in years, oh, I see one I missed. We can't leave him out here. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? These are very good grapes right here. I got this vine years ago. Gentleman, he's still living, by the way, but he I think it was back in around the early 90s, around 91 or 92, somewhere along in there. He told my dad, he said if I wanted one of these vines, to come over and get it. And so he had a little, it was just a little clip that he started, and you can take a runner like this right here. This would work perfect. Dig your hole in the ground, set that down in the ground about a foot deep maybe, and cover it up, and just leave it for a season, 1 year, let it sprout, cut that end off down there. And what he did, he recommended taking just a regular old white potato, sticking over the end of it so that it won't bleed to death, and set it out wherever you want it. So that's what I did. Now this is off of the vine. Now that vine that he gave me is down at my mom and dad's, and I started it, and it's still there, and it's a big producer. And I took a vine off of that. That's what this is here. And I think I've even give away a couple of sprouts off of this one. So they're relatively easy. We may do a video on that, because it's real easy to do a sprout off of these, and we've had good success with it over the years. So anyway, just thought I would show you this. This is pretty much what's going on around here. And the gardening season's pretty much wrapping up. We really don't have too much going on in that regards, but just cleaning up, and we've got to get prepared for cooler weather. We've got the wood heater. You know, I've got some videos. They'll be coming out starting next week on the wood heater, but we've got to get prepared for that, and we've got to get some wood. I've got wood already cut. I've just got to get it brought here and stacked up and ready to go. I was looking at some neat ideas on YouTube. I don't remember the guy that showed me, or the guy that I saw on YouTube, was using the ICB totes. I hope I quoted that right. And making neat little gadgets to haul wood in. And so those looked real interesting. I thought about trying something like that, because I could move it with a tractor. And something like that would really be nice. So I don't know, we're looking at maybe possibly doing something that will regard. One more quick thing, and we're going to finish this up. My onions right here, as you can see, they're growing, they're looking good. They're getting a lot of that water that they love. Onions love water. But thing we thought about doing with these is, in these containers that the collards were in, I'm thinking about adding some more. I've got good compost down there that I can add to it and fill these up a little more. And I'm thinking about putting these onions in here versus putting them over in the garden where I can't keep an eye on them and no more than they are of them. So we're thinking about trying that this year, but it'll be a while before I transplant them. I want to get these ready to go, and get some compost, more compost mixed in there with it, and try to fill them up just a little bit more. So anyway, that's another project we're looking at that we may do in the near future. So anyway, just thought I'd put this quick video out today, and I told you I would show you the collards a week after I set them out, and so I wanted to show you that, and I'll try to keep you posted on those as time goes on. Anyway, I hope y'all have a wonderful day, and we appreciate y'all watching, and we want to say thank you from Little NC Farmer. Have a great day.